What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to
Woo!
another episode of Right on Cue Podcast. It's the birthday pod, baby. Birthday.
Woo!
Burr. No,
Wait,
man, it
you've
is.
got a soundboard.
I, shut up. I know, man. No, man, it's our birthday. It's the first anniversary podcast show, and we are very
Happy
excited to be here.
podiversary.
Podiversary. That's what it should be called. The podiversary. No,
Happy podiversary.
I know, man. It's. I can't believe we made it a year. Honestly, it's
Holy shit.
To think about how where we started to where we are today, and the distance that we haven't covered very much. It's fun. It's fun to think about.
I can't believe I haven't gotten fired over this bullshit yet.
Well, canceled or fired? I mean, I don't know. I
Either
won't fire
both.
you. I've already reducted your pay as low as I can. So, I mean,
No, I mean from my real job.
No, cancel's where I don't know, dude. We made it a year without getting canceled or fired. It's impressive. I'm proud of us. Cheers to us.
Me too.
Cheers.
Chin.
Chin.
Here we go.
No. I mean, honestly, what do you think? Like when I came to you, a year ago, it was like, hey, let's do a pod. I did not. Honestly, I would have not thought we'd make it this far and covered did as many shows as we did.
No, I didn't either. And to be honest, I think it was like a couple days before Christmas, and I was at my parents' house, barely deep into the sauce at that point, and you sent me some StreamYard link, and I was like, "What is this bullshit?" I'm like, all right, here we go.
This is episode 50. So that's crazy.
That's crazy that we did 50 in a year.
Yeah. Because we did, we took 2 weeks off.
2 weeks off.
And then, so that plays. This is
Good
episode
heavens.
50. So, no, man, I'm excited to keep going. I've really enjoyed it. I didn't know exactly how we would do if we could ever settle in, but it's so funny. Like, think about the very first podcast we did and how nervous we were, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. You ever go back and watch the first?
Absolutely not.
You totally should if you want to get a cringe moment.
That's why I'm not going to do it. I can't.
It's good. It's growing. After we finish this one, you should go back and skim the first one.
Okay. So full disclosure, I cannot stand hearing my own voice.
I know it's hard for me too sometimes hearing your voice, but
I can't stand it. I cannot stand
it's rough sometimes for me. I
don't even like hearing it in the ear monitors, let alone
bear with me
going back
moment.
and just listening to
headphones decided to crap the bed.
And if it's you guys on your own,
I love
listen. I'll check in.
I love how all this stuff is always good old Logan. It's happening.
I was really hoping you were about to pull another pair of them out from underneath your ass.
Yeah.
That you'd been sitting on. You good? You good?
You there? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I ain't going anywhere.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Love my life. It's fun.
Yeah. I feel like that's very on brand for us, though.
All right, here we go. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate Houston. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Clear as a bell.
Yeah. Can't hear a word you're saying. Awesome.
Clear as a church bell.
Why can't I hear you? Makes no sense.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, my gosh. 1 year.
So, since he can't. All right, now I'm unmuted. Fantastic. I do want to share a couple of things. Logan played in the last place game for our fantasy football league, which we affectionately have called the Toilet Bowl. He did win the Toilet Bowl. I'm very proud of him for doing that.
I did win the Toilet Bowl, and I am back. Man, what a shit show we run here. That's all I can say.
It's so
thank
on
you.
brand.
It's so on brand because I think this happened our first. Aaron, I think Aaron, his computer lost power the first one, but no, man, sorry about that. My headphones lost power midway through, and I had to reset because as is the shit show we call Right on Cue podcast. Yay! Anywho, no,
it is still amateur hour, Justin,
it's
and we are
so amateur hour. It's so bad. We're gonna get good one of these days. But no, man, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. We talked to some amazing people. I mean, I'm just looking through our guest list of who we talked to this year. I mean, we've had some heavy hitters and some cool people.
way too many to name, but thank you to every single one of you that has come on this bullshit show and talk to us on a Monday or Tuesday night. And thank you most of all to every single person that is actually listening to this. I never thought anybody would ever listen to this with more than 5 minutes, let alone.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So the average show, I went back and looked at the analytics of because you can do it on Apple Pod. So the average listen, the average listen we get per show is around 800 to 1,000 listens, and I'm like, that's it's for big podcasts, that's minute and tiny, but for us, we're staying at a pretty big mega church. That's why I looked at it. I was looking around like, hey, this is like a nice sized church where people are listening to us.
Absolutely. No, and I cannot tell everybody thank you enough for tuning in and listening to this. It's been kind of an interesting learning experience. It's been kind of a wild ride, but
it has.
I'm still, every time you send me those analytics numbers, I'm like, number one, who the hell are these people that are interested in listening to the two of us?
We have listeners in 6 countries. We've had listeners in 6 different countries. Our southern slang, they probably can't understand us, but you know what? Thanks for tuning in either way. And just
Thank you so much.
Just download.
But I really am being sincere about that.
Yes, absolutely. And now, man, speaking about anniversary and bringing it back to our first episode we ever did, we got our boy back, man. Full circle, man. Full circle. What better guy to have on our anniversary pod?
That felt weird.
I mean, that's a Tennessee bicycle. It goes this way and that way. It's whatever way you want to do. But no, man, like I said, our first full circle, we have with us Mr. Aaron Hunselman from Mr. Brisket, the Thigh Life himself. The dude is crushing it in competition barbecue and butcher shop and all comp meats. I mean, he's just kicking ass all the way around. I cannot wait to hear how things have changed for him since the last time we talked. So without further ado, man, let's bring him on. What up?
What's going on?
Hey, Aaron, welcome back to the show.
Here I am with a fully charged phone and headset.
Say what?
Wow, man.
Came prepared.
Way to talk bad about me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You said my computer died, so I had to throw something in there.
Well, you know what? It's funny. So your computer died. We've had people's internet go out. We've had think of all the stuff we've had happen to us, Houston, over the last year. I mean, what's the computer
the board's
died,
gone dead several times.
Board's gone dead. Yeah. My computer just crashed on me one time. What up, Hankalicious?
My kids crashed the show a bunch. Can you say hey to everybody?
What's up, man? But no, but it's
hey, let me get back to it. Love it.
It's been fun, man. So Aaron, we don't have to start the show like we usually do, and people find out about you because they don't know who you are. Then, I mean, where you been, dude? In the competition world, especially, and the terrible state of Ohio. I mean, you guys are known, far and near and far. So tell me a little bit how things have changed since last time we talked to you guys. I mean, I know I see you all over the competition boards and stuff like that, and all those beautiful chicken thighs and briskets and ribs. So tell a little bit how things have changed for you.
I mean, the biggest change is we've hired 2 guys to trim thighs, so I'm not trimming as much anymore on the chicken side. So technically, I'm creating jobs. So go me.
That's right.
Capitalist.
Go you, exactly.
the briskets have really blown up from I mean, we weren't doing a lot of briskets when we talked, and now I did about 1,000.
Wow.
So that was, and looking at the briskets I was trimming in January of last year to January of this year, my product going out, and so the briskets have blown up. We're buying pork collars by the pallet now instead of by the box or the case. So those are going because the competition box itself has really grown. It's been a crazy year. We kind of hit, like, we'll say St. Pat's Day last year, and we just went from there on the business side. It's just been crazy.
Do you think around March is when it really took off?
March was really where we kind of, it was like we hit St. Pat's. We sell corned beef at the shop, so we really hit St. Pat's for corned beef.
Yeah.
And then we had, I want to say it was like the second week of April was the Great Lakes Barbecue Association Spring Fling, and there were 62 teams. We brought 39 teams worth of meat up with us to it.
Wow,
so that was a big. There's a picture floating around of my trailer just full.
Yeah, so that's about 2/3 of the team were running y'all's product.
Yeah, I mean, so that was really cool. And then I took first place in ribs there I was short one tenderness score from a 180. But the best part of that was, we were walking out and everybody was taking their team outlaw picture, all the outlaw guys. And I was like, yeah, but a guy at the Traeger just beat you all with ribs. So that was fun.
Hashtag pellet for life.
But now I own an outlaw. So
pellet popper. Yeah, now you own an outlaw too.
But we got on the grill side we added an outlaw patio. We added a Rectech BFG to the catering side of things. So we've upgraded on that side too.
Oh, absolutely. I want to get to all that stuff, but let's talk about just pure numbers that you're doing over there at Mr. Brisket. Like how many thighs did you say you just shipped out today?
400 thighs, I think, went out the door today. Second week of January. I was looking at a post last year where I said, 100 thighs was a big week for us when we started in January. And we're, we bring in 200 pounds of thighs a week from Springer Mountain.
Y'all got to be one of their bigger, like super commercial customers.
Yeah, non-grocery chain, I'd say we're a bigger customer because we're also bringing in whole birds. I do IBCA boxes too, so I'm cutting birds for the Texas guys. Yep.
So what's in IBCA box? I didn't see those.
So that's kind of like a barbecue superstore exclusive. So we kind of work with a couple of different stores, but they have a lot of Texas guys, and they had an IBCA in Michigan, so it's just a smart move just to add it. It's 4 chicken halves, 3 ribs, and a brisket flat. I kind of trim more for the Texas side where it's got a little more point on the bottom. And yeah, it's like $3.99 chip, something like that.
There you go. How's it? That's another thing. Like when you started this off, what was some of your biggest obstacles you had to work through to kind of get to where you are now?
The biggest thing is setting the mindset of the customer to the best way I say it is it's a built, not bought product, or it's actually a bought, not built product. So you're buying the race car, you're not building the race car is like my best way to put it. And some of these guys like, well, I like my brisket like this, or I like my thighs like that. Like, I really appreciate that. But when I'm doing hundreds of them or thousands of them in terms of thighs, I have to have a streamlined process for everybody. And you're buying it for the time saving and the convenience more so than how you would do it. So it's like you're buying the Corvette to go out and race. You're not buying, your own car to build and race. It's kind of how I always put it.
That's a good
mindset. And then meat's very seasonal. Briskets kind of ebb and flow on how they look throughout the year. Like my briskets now are kind of the fall briskets. So they're not as big as say the briskets I'm going to get in a month and a half that are winter briskets where they're sitting and eating more and keeping themselves warm.
Yeah.
Same
So-
with chicken.
So is that like I said, is that a real thing? Because I've talked to a lot of pit masters and stuff, and they say they're in the winter briskets that they'll buy a ton because they're so much meatier and the marbling so much better. Like is that a real thing? And like they'll buy a ton and freeze it.
Yep, it is, but I don't know. Like you don't know when that season's going to hit you as the buyer. Because we've had some cases come in like July that are just insane.
Really?
So is it a late winter rolling into the summer, or is it that first round of winter coming into the spring? But I mean, honestly, I didn't see really paying attention like this first full year of trimming where I was like, oh crap, we got a really bad batch. I can't get anything out of this. There's always something in those cases for me to trim.
I got you. So how selective are you? Like I said, going through, do you personally, are you like the quality control of the competition side of it? You go through like how many cases on average do you go through in each protein?
I think brisket wise, we're bringing in at least 20 minimum cases per shipment every 2 weeks. In the summer, we were bringing in about 40 cases a shipment. And, we're going through them. I asked my people at Imperial, we want, we call 16 and ups. There's 16 and ups and there's 16 and downs. So can I get a comp flat out of a 16 and down? Yeah, but is it maybe one brisket per case that I can find one that I'm like, yep, we can make this work? Yeah. It's more like a 16 and a half. That's about as low as I want to go to trim a brisket. Although my best brisket this year, I got a 180 and was a 14 pounder. So they do work out, but so we're trying to find those 16 and up briskets, and I say a minimum 80-pound case because that way I know they're going to be closer to 20 pounds each, and they're going to have a thick middle of the flat. And then the points also good because then we're selling the points or using them for burn ends, and we want all of that usage too. So we're really cross utilizing the product, which is helping to keep the price like on the comp flats down. I think there's a competitive price with the labor and everything. We're 160 a flat. But that's with my labor, that's with the trimming, that's with the risk of selling the point at some price point. It could be we sold points as low as $25 when we were surplus, or we selling them at burn ends for $25 a pound. So there's definitely ways to go there.
So what is a brisket out the door? You said.
So comp flat's 160.
It looks
on
good,
average.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to not go any lighter than we'll say 4.8 pounds. I try to get it right around like 5.5. But I'm also looking at it should be right out of the package ready to go. And if you're doing a secondary trim on the table at a comp, you're almost getting down to 4.8 before you inject anyway. So that's kind of where if I'm low, I make sure that brisket's done ready to go. I give it the scissor job is what Michael, my coworker, calls it. I'll get the scissors out. We'll do the edges. It's done, ready to go.
Nice. So would you think, I guess, the brisket and your chicken's kind of the only two that's finished product out the door, right? Because I mean, your pork collar still need a little trimming and stuff like that you have to do to it, but brisket's pretty much good to go.
The brisket, typically, I mean, I'll have some guys, we did a live kind of test in July. We went down to, we did a bourbon class with Tire Smoke Barbecue and Yeah Barbecue, and I brought a whole comp box, and that's what we used to teach the class. So I got some feedback from Jeff Schurer on what he would do when he got it, out of the box, say if I shipped it to him. And that was really good feedback on what, kind of go back to like where I said, like it's a secondary trim that he kind of did and showed me that I kind of took and went back, to the drawing board on.
Right. So are you still guys rocking primarily Wichitas on your comp box, or have you switched now to Prairie Fresh Primes?
I haven't been sold on the Prairie Fresh Primes for the comp box. The Wichita guys are great. They're easier to get for us. I don't know if it's just the part of the country we're in, but those Prairie Fresh Primes, we'll get a case in and you'll have one, really big rack like maybe 3.25 pound, but they don't have like a 2 pound rack. And it just where the Wichitas are consistently within, a couple of ounces of each other. There's not a big swing on them. And the trim's always, the Wichita trim is a lot better in my opinion than the Prairie Freshes. Now they are thinner ribs, but that's also the 2.5 to 3 pound rib. They do offer a bigger one that I'm looking into.
Because that's when I was looking at the Wichita. I used to cook Wichitas. I tried to cook Wichita. We did. Me and Houston did.
Yeah.
And they're so sexy and they're so pretty, and the marbling is always gorgeous. But I screwed it up every single time. Like I just they're a different breed. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely. That's crazy. Is like, so we were at the Royal Oak Invitational this year, and they gave us comparts. And cooking those after cooking Wichitas all year was just a crazy experience for me.
Tell me the secret of that. Tell me the secret of Wichitas. Like, crack the safe for us.
They give you a false tenderness in the wrap. Like, I swear, like if you go in there, you probe it, and you're like, those are good. No, give it another at least 10, 15 minutes and then go back. I don't know what it is about the wrap juice. Let it run a little longer, and it'll, and I didn't listen to myself at one comp. I was like, nah, these are done. No, they were not. They were tough. They tightened up on the box. It sucked.
I think that's what happened to us, Houston. Like, whenever we cooked the Wichitas, because like they come out and the flavor was perfect. Like, I really enjoy the flavor of Wichitas. I really do.
Agree.
I think they're fantastic, and I love the marbling. I love how when I got them from you, like they're very like round, square, and like good straight bones, and like like I said, they're guaranteed no, marks, shiners or anything like that. So it's fantastic. Like I loved all that. I just maybe that was a trick and I know they hit because the bus uses them. We's kicked our ass with them. A lot of.
Kevlar likes to use them. I use them. I ended up 35th in the country in ribs in like the under 5 KCBS category this year, and that was all Wichitas basically.
Hell yeah, man! Congratulations.
Hell yeah, man!
Yeah,
way to go, man.
On the comp side, I had a great year. On top of the Mr. Brisket side.
Yeah, well, let's get into that, man. Because like I said, I kind of hit you hard on the Mr. Brisket question, but you're also for those who don't know, man, this man right here is a serious competition cook,
a competitor.
Yeah.
Go big. Look at this. Yeah, zoom out again. Zoom out. Go big or go barbecue.
There you go.
I like it, man. I love your logo. It's badass.
It does look great.
It does. Yeah. It really does. So tell us about how your season went, man.
Well, it was the first year where we competed outside of Ohio, more than we did in Ohio, which was cool. We started out in Michigan, up at the Great Lakes Spring Fling. We got first in ribs, 8th in pork, somewhere around there. We got 5th overall out of 62 teams. And, that was just straight, that was straight on the pellet poopers. That was all on Traegers, and then we, that was, it was actually every comp up until the Royal Oak with the Outlaw was all on Traegers this year. We went to a really good comp was over in Pennsylvania. It's called Big Knob. It was the same weekend as the Invitational. So, it was kind of a nobody, nobody was
no
there,
way I could take that competition seriously with that name.
Big Knob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Knob. It's a place in Pennsylvania. It's right over. It was like an hour and a half away, like right by Pittsburgh.
What do you mean, Houston? Why would you not take it seriously? I don't know what's wrong about that name. I don't understand.
Oh, nothing. It's
is it the Knob?
It's a perfectly lovely name.
It's a great name. Shout out people in Big Knob watching tonight.
Dude, shout out to Big Knob. But anybody in Big Knob's watching this, I appreciate it.
That one was probably my favorite.
Here down to draw a dick on the street very soon.
Not the knob. But that one I brought my son to, and so that was fun. We got to camp and compete, and we ended up getting a top 10 call in every category, and we got 3rd or 4th overall. So that was cool. He got to walk away with trophies. He got to see what Dad
That's
does
awesome.
and have fun and make new friends.
How old is yours?
And I got 7-year-old twins. I got a boy and a girl.
Okay.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun to
You
get
know.
the family involved and have the kids like when you actually win something, they're like, all right, daddy doesn't suck.
Yeah, yeah. It's even better when you bring money home because then the wife says, "Daddy, Daddy doesn't suck."
That didn't suck.
Well, I mean, usually, yeah, that's kind of how it works. Whenever you bring money home, the wife usually says daddy. You know what I'm saying? It just,
Something like
that. Yeah, something like that.
But that was fun. We went to Wadsworth, was our only Ohio competition, KCBS wise, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
run by our friends. Yeah, that's our friends. Sailor Nick's Barbecue runs that one. It's a great run comp. You know, we had more fun that weekend than we got calls. We got like a 10th place brisket or something.
Mhm.
You know, but that was the wind that killed the tent. My tent kind of died that weekend, so I fought a lot of weather. I'm still a tent guy.
Hey,
You know, but
nothing
hey,
wrong with that.
5x8 trailer. If I could stand up in it, I'd be perfect. But I'm only 5'7" and I can't stand up in it, so it's a little short guy.
It's a little pup
But
tent.
then we went to but then we got to go to Royal Oak Invitational. That was cool to get invited to that. You know, we had extra motivation. We got to my dad was supposed to come with us, and instead he decided to get colon cancer and go into yeah, that was rough. He you know, he was in a coma for 2 weeks. And so it was, you know, but the first thing he said before he went into surgery when he first got to the hospital was like, "You're going to that competition. You're going to Atlanta." And then my whole family was like, "You're going to that competition, no matter what Adrian, you know, you're going, you're going, you're going." So we came up with the Do It for Dad. You can see it on the banner there.
That's
The
awesome.
Do It for Dad
That's
stance.
awesome, man.
You know, and if you know the Royal Oak Invitational, it's they roll out the red carpet for you.
Sure.
You know, it's great food. There's literally 4 or 5 beer stations throughout the whole campus. Like you can't not walk around without a beer in your hand.
Our kind of comp.
And they provide the meat. And they have a People's Choice Award, and it's a who's who of in barbecue. And we had Bill Purvis there. You know, we had Chilla Skridlin. We had myself. I'm a who's who. We had my buddy, you know, Josh Buckeye Barbecue, Buckeye Flavor. You know, he's my go-to helper. He's my ringer. I brought him along for the brisket category, basically. They had some help, and we ended up getting first place brisket, 8th place pork, 9th place chicken, something like that. We got 5th place overall in that field. So it was that kind of capped off a season for us, and we just said we did it for Dad. We brought back some pictures for him and some swag, and you know he's on the up and up now. So that really rounded out our season. That was on the Outlaw. That was on the Outlaw too. Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Well, before I get into the Outlaw, I want to hear more about that. But is your dad? Well, you know, we're sorry to hear about your father. Is he doing okay now, or?
He's all right. He's home. You know, he's recovering. You know, we're just next steps, take it day by day, and you know, he's alive and ready to
post operation. Is a complication of the operation.
Yeah, he had a lot of his colon. You know, had a lot of his colon taken out, a lot of trauma. So, you know, but it was the blessing there is you know, when he was awake, I'm like, what was it like to be asleep for 2 weeks? And he's like, I was here, but I wasn't here. Like it was just crazy.
I bet. I always wondered about that.
Yeah, that was. You know, like I need to ask you what, you know, were you just like high, you know, you high the whole time? Like how did that work? And he goes, yeah, basically it was just kind of in a glaze dream state for 2 weeks.
Man, I bet.
But I mean,
you could like dream the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy right there. I mean, just
he just wrote a whole book on his way out.
Wrote a whole book, man. He could help out finish the Game of Thrones finally. But no, well, man, we're very happy to hear he's on the mend and on the up and up, and
absolutely,
he's ready to hit the trail. I mean, my dad was he's been to every competition basically since I started competing. I mean, he's if Josh is my left hand, he's my right hand. You know, that's kind of where I'm rolling with everybody.
Dude, that's awesome. I love hearing a lot. Like barbecue is, we say it all the time, but barbecue is about family, and especially in a lot of people's cases, like father son team. That's a pretty common occurrence throughout the barbecue realm, and it's always
No
cool. And
joke.
I'm kind of jealous. I mean, that's a cool bonding experience. I mean, what better
Yep.
place to bond with your father than cooking barbecue, drinking beers, and hanging out? I mean, it's pretty
Yep.
pretty awesome.
And he can't cook barbecue. He can't cook barbecue worth shit, but he can
That's
walk
okay.
a box to the judge's table pretty well.
It's all right. You need all types in the game, all types. Man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your upgrade. I mean, you cheated on your pellet pooper, and you went and bought the Outlaw. What is your what made you want to make the leap? Besides, doing so well, trimming thighs, making that big thigh money.
For me, it was, I was trying to win the one from the Heath Riles giveaway this year, and my buddy Chris down at actually won the Heath Riles Outlaw giveaway, and so it's kind of a, hey man, you don't really need two, let me just get the smaller one for a great deal. He gave me a great deal on it, and it was time to add I didn't have a charcoal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we went down, got it, and it's the patio model, but it'll cook a 4-meat comp. It's fine.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well,
we did a 50-pound pig on it for Thanksgiving, and
nice.
it's its own experience.
Did like a suckler.
Yeah, little baby in there, but it was good. My kids were hilarious with it, with the pig. They were like, "Where's the blood? Where's this?" They were all confused about about all that. But they helped season it
from
Heath. Good. Yeah, no, not Heath. Chris.
All right, got it.
No, he's still. Yeah, Chris. Or he still has Ed, his patio model, but no, Chris was happy enough to let that one go for a great price, and
yeah,
it was, and it fits in the trailer allegedly. I haven't put it in there yet, but it should fit.
How much? I mean, those things are light. So is it on wheels? It's on the.
It's like 600 pounds, so light's a relative term. But yeah, it's on golf carts or good wheels.
I was literally going to ask you because I thought you custom ordered one. It's like, how many of the optional extras did you get put on it?
No,
sky is the limit on the damn website,
dude. Jay will do if you ask Jay to do something, he'll figure out and do it.
Yeah,
that's the. And I met Jay at the Michigan comp, and he's every bit the person that everybody says he's. Great dude. He's customer oriented, and he makes great grills, and he's this cool dude to hang out with. But no, I mean, it did come with the microwave shelf for the brisket, which is really nice. That's really cool. And then his has I got the stainless top on the firebox, but
nice.
That's all the fun I got in mine so far. I mean, water box and the cool rub shelf would be my other options to add in, but I've got so many other grills for like specialty stuff. I don't need a pizza oven insert or anything.
So have you switched to straight up outlaw only now on the competition scene?
Competition, I like bringing the outlaw and like my Traeger 34 just for if you're running out of time and you got to move something when it's wrapped. Sure. It's just great to have there.
Yeah,
I haven't done chicken on the outlaw yet, actually.
So how would you compare the flavor profile of your outlaw versus the pellet grill? Because I mean, we're a Viva La Pellet, Revolution. We're holding it down with our Lone Star. How do you like your?
I mean, we're kind of a little bit of both, though. I mean, because we're Lone Star plus a barrel.
Yeah, we do a little can cooking too.
Right. I mean, we do a fair bit on the can.
I think at the temperature, if you're running at that 300 hot and fast, I honestly, you're going to get more smoke from the outlaw, obviously, and a little bit of a different color. But like overall, I mean, it's, I would say the flavor is not the same, but you're not getting like an over smoke flavor from the Outlaw. I think at 300 degrees, you're running such a clean fire in both things that you're kind of just getting a decent smoke out of both.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're so well made. I mean,
They really are.
over at the Outlaw. I mean, everybody I know. I mean, we know we have friends this year that have bought, switched over to Outlaws.
Absolutely.
And part of me is a little jealous, and the other part of me just wants to beat them so much more now with our pellet grill. Yeah, exactly.
It was fun at Michigan to see them all with their arms around each other. Oh, Team Outlaw, and I'm like, yeah, my 8-year-old Traeger beat you.
Although part of me really wants an Outlaw that is sitting on like gold wire Daytons.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Do hydraulics and like slam it when you get there. Just like.
I want an Outlaw on like gold wire Dayton so bad.
I think the bigger space for them coming up is how he's putting the coal boxes under the barrel.
Yeah,
you can do whole hog with drippings on it. Yeah,
I think
cool.
going to get big in NBN. That'll where it'll catch in next. Start seeing a lot of those for Memphis in May and whatnot. And I know a lot of like I know our boys for Optimus Swine, they got their custom one where they, you can hybrid cook, you do charcoal grilling, and you can also smoke on them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the one though that
John Wade.
John Wade, yeah. No, he's
he likes some trim brisket asking. I trim his briskets.
I bet you do. No, dude, those guys are killing it. And hell, they like Outlaw so much they're a dealer reform now.
Yep.
So that's another cool thing he does is having dealers versus just ordering from him. But let's speaking of competitions, man, you got a cool one coming up that I'm sad I'm not going to get to go to it this year. But let's talk about it, man. It's probably the most unique barbecue competition in the country. So tell our audience about what's coming up.
Yeah, next weekend's this weekend actually. God, my timing is just after the holidays. You hit that weird time in between. You're like, what day is it? Mm-hmm. But no, we're headed to Missouri, Cape Girardeau, Missouri this weekend to go to the Smoking Brothers When Pigs Fly competition. It's an indoor competition in a basketball arena, and we run on Smoking Brothers grills, cook up pork loin and pork steaks, and do some people's choice and a little bit of blind judging. Just have a good time. It's a really cool spot.
It is cool, man. We went to me and my wife went to it last year.
I was gonna say y'all took that trip up there last year.
Yeah, we did, and it's in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Up there, home of the Old Hickory Smokers and Smoking Brothers. But man, it's a cool. First off, the people who come there, some of the who's who of barbecues there. like we had obviously Myron Mixon's there. You got Sonny Moody, you got Bob Trudnak, you got Mo Case on it.
It draws some names, don't it?
Yeah, Heath Riles. Yeah, Heath Riles and crew. JDQ was there last year. I don't know if they're going to be there this year. I mean,
he's there this year.
Is he? Yeah, that was a blast hanging out with all those guys. Oh my God! If you guys don't have any plans this weekend or in the area, you gotta go because the entry fee alone. You do nothing but eat amazing food because it's just, especially because there's two sides. There's actually an indoor, three sides. There's the SCA contest, and then you also got a barbecue contest, which you're teaming up and cooking this year. And then for the quote unquote celebrity judges, they're pretty much pumping out small plates all day long. Like it's
clack.
Yeah. They're I think it's like four different small plates they're pumping out throughout the day. And last year's food was so stinking good. It was insane. And like just for the money and hanging out, it's a really cool experience. And if you guys haven't gone to it or visited and see awesome people like our boy Aaron here, definitely highly recommend checking it out. And it's not cold. It's actually reasonable in that arena.
It's not smoky either. Their ventilation system, whatever they did to keep that smoke out of there, it's it's good until the only time I'll say it was smoky is when we all shut off our grills and they shut off the vents. That's when the smoke kind of settled back down. But overall, man, it's a great time.
I say at the end, like if you go outside and walk back in, it definitely smells like a smokehouse. I mean, it's definitely you definitely smell it, but it's not a bad smell to smell. I love that smell.
I want to go to a basketball game like after that, like a day or two later, and just see what it smells like in there.
So I actually played there in college. Whenever I played for Moorhead, it was funny. I remember pulling up. I'm like, I've been here. I mean, I know where this is. It looks different, but I've been here. But yeah, no, it's I you know what back then they didn't do the contest. So I was gonna say I didn't smell any smokiness in there, but back then the smoke came from Marlboro Reds and
Blunt.
Yeah, American Freedom or whatever. Nah,
Spirits,
yeah, American Spirit. Yeah, but no, man, it's a really cool event, and yeah, especially in January, it's the only way you'd ever get me to cook in a barbecue contest.
Well, that or go down to Florida, which we're doing the weekend after. It's a wham bam back to Fort. We're going to Missouri, cook inside, and then I think the weather down in Florida right now says it'll be like 70 when we get down there for Lakeland the weekend after.
I always forget how early Lakeland is.
I know, dude. I wanted to go. I wanted to go so bad this year because I have a friend that lives in Lakeland, Florida, and I was just gonna go crash on his couch and cook it out of some cans in a tent.
Yeah, but it is a freaking stroll from where we live.
What is it like? How long is the drive? Are you flying or driving down there?
We're flying, but Sailor Nick said he's driving down he's going to compete too, and he said 16 hours.
I was going to say Sailor Nick has got every bit of 16 hours in front of him.
What us be 12?
Yeah,
for us to be 12 hours?
Yeah, we would eat 12 easily.
And that's depending on traffic the whole way down.
Yeah, and you're praying you don't run into because you have to go through Atlanta. Like, what's the big cities you got to plow through?
If you're driving to Florida from us, you take 75, and I always go around Atlanta. I always take the bypass to go around it, but
which can be bullshit too.
Yeah, it backs up too. Dude, that is like the black hole of traffic. Atlanta, it don't care unless the only time it's good that go out. We should cook sip and slime down there. Yeah, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. That's like the perfect time to go through it because it's like even then there's some traffic, and I'm like, oh god, screw this. I don't know if people I don't know if people in Atlanta like live that way.
I drove from here to Savannah, Georgia, back at Christmas, and honestly, Chattanooga was worse.
Really?
Like getting through the whole Chattanooga area.
We drove from here to Royal Oak, which is just like north of Atlanta and Alpharetta area, and Tennessee was horrible. I don't like Chattanooga, that area. Yeah, I don't know what it was about people just slamming on their brakes for no reason, and
well, there's a lot of geography. I mean, like all the banky turns through like the mountain cuts, and then there's a ton of construction going on in Chattanooga. It's just, man, it was some bullshit. I hated it.
Yeah. The influx of California drivers, the piss poor road conditions. I mean, whenever you drive the stretch where I live from exit 1 to exit 18, I mean, if you close your eyes, you feel like you're on the Oregon Trail. I'm like, by the end of it, I'm like, oh no, I have dysentery. My mule died.
I was a passenger princess, so I just was along for the ride. Let Josh handle it. All that we went down.
God bless you. Do it. I mean, why not? It sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't blame you one bit.
So, what's your what's 2025 looking like for you? What's some of your goals you set? What's some of your expectations that you're gonna do? What are you cooking?
I mean, biggest goal for me is still to grab that GC. We hit the 700 club this year. We hit the 180 club. We're still looking for that first GC in terms of like pro comp. So that's the biggest goal. I mean, business wise, just keep growing. The chicken thighs kind of, one thing I see now is we're not the only ones out there trimming briskets. So making sure we're putting out the best product in terms of briskets for trim meats. I got Jay at Corte Meats is trimming briskets. what is it? Tyson over there at Uppercut KC is doing them. I know this guy in Texas that's doing them. That
Yeah.
looks good. So, we're not the only guy in that space. I know thighs wise, anytime I talk to anybody, like, oh, we won't touch thighs. So, for me, there is just keeping that consistent. Like I said, we hired 2 guys to do thighs, and the best part about the thighs is I'm hiring people that don't have a preconceived notion of what a trimmed chicken thigh is. And so these guys they followed how I showed them, a day's worth of thighs. And now they hammer out 60 pounds a day, in thighs. So just keeping that, growing that space. There's a lot of barbecue guys out there. That's one thing, I've learned through all this is, we have our small circle, like, I talk to you or I talk to, some guys here and there, but there is a bigger circle of us all out there that want to compete. And there's new guys too, and I want to help grow the sport would be I don't know if that's a goal or just, a mission statement to just grow the sport. And I think providing the trim meets gives you that option to step into it. Oh, another car notion is you don't have to be the best mechanic to be a great race car driver. And I kind of see that as, not let me trim the meat, but I'll trim the meat. You still got to cook it. You still have to take it from that point A, to the box. So, but if you're starting out with a better canvas, your painting's going to be that much better. So, growing
Best
the sport,
adage I've ever heard.
And then,
is that
because I see
you don't have to be the best to start, but you do have to start to be the best.
Yeah. And but I mean, the fact that Malcolm, so we saw Heath, I saw Heath down at Royal Oak, and he looks at me and looks at Malcolm Reed and goes, "That's the thigh guy." So I know I'm doing something right, in terms of those guys, knowing who I am and stuff. And I, Heath brought me back on they brought us back on the team this year, so that's really cool. We're repping, growing our reps with Heath Riles, Royal Oaks, Springer Mountain Farms. They brought us all back, for 25. And then growing the sauce and rub business. I have a great barbecue sauce. I'll toot that horn every day.
I still got some of your stuff.
It's hitting not just for us. It's other teams are growing on it. It's a great rib sauce. It's a great pork sauce.
I was gonna say I love the color of it for the ribs.
Yeah, puts a great color out there. And for me at comps, I strain it. So one thing for me is I'm working with the co-packer to take away that step, kind of work on how to get rid of those larger pepper granules in there. But it's not steady as we go. I mean, me and Hank, we have some big things brewing. Maybe is kind of where I'll leave that note in terms of what's going on in the Mr. Brisket land. Our catering's growing. I smoked more turkeys this year than I have the past 4 years combined for work. So the catering side of things are growing. And so I've got my hands in a lot of pots, and it's just kind of finding that balance and growing and having fun with it.
That's awesome, man.
Get a bigger outlaw.
Yeah, there you go.
Level up to the Patio XL.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Have you seen the XL?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we had my patio versus the XL at Chris's house. That extra, I think it's 12 inches. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
But it is a lot. It adds a lot
big.
To that smoker. Yeah. I kind of was I'm glad I didn't win it because I'd have to buy a new trailer just to move it.
No, I'll tell you what I want, and I've said on the show before, man. That one with the tent built in that he showed on there. I like that is I thought about do I need my trailer? I could just sell the trailer and buy that and just freaking roll on with it. Me and Houston should get hotel rooms.
I was going to say we're either getting hotels or you're cooking smoke on the shore on your own, or I'm coming out morning of.
Yeah. Jay hinted at on one of his posts that he was making it to where you can roll a patio onto that trailer, another option where you just roll the patio onto that trailer and it has the tent on it. Now that would be cool, to where you have both options.
Yeah, I mean, but there's so many, so many uses of that. I'm thinking hell, NFL football games, college football games. I mean, tailgating, it's awesome. Set it up, open a tent, kind of keeps you some privacy and gets you away from the heat. And then for like guys like you, people that travel all over the country or have like a little mini RV bus or something, I mean, just pull that behind you, and it's you're out of the weather. It's nice. He's doing big things and like reinventing the wheel. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
nice. He's doing that. As long as he's cooked some trim thighs along the way, I'll be happy.
Oh,
Maybe he can come up
absolutely.
with a chicken.
Absolutely.
Where's my chicken shelf, Jay?
That's right, man. That's right. Hey, let me ask you this, man, because like when you hired the guys to like, did he come on? Like, did you post on the wanted ad? I want chicken thigh trimmers. That's like, what do they think they're doing when they got there?
No, so like Michael, he came on.
Wanted meat handler.
Just came on. Yeah, he was, like, hey, he was looking for a little extra work. We're like, yeah, we need help with the thighs because our Robbie was my guy doing it for the longest time, from like September of 23 up until late spring last year. And so we knew he was leaving. So like, we knew my schedule wasn't going to allow me to always be there to trim that many thighs. So he came in, and Michael's a seasoned chef and, meat cutter. And so we're like, hey, he kind of looked at me funny when I showed him what I did. But, he actually showed me better ways of scraping the skin to the point where, schmaltz. That's the thing. I want to grow schmaltz this year. If you ask Craig Verhage, that's my nickname, is now schmaltz, which is the
You're
rendered
doing chicken
fat
schmaltz, right?
thighs. Oh yeah, we do. We put on a half-gallon pot every day and render it out from all the trimmings, and just throw it in the freezer. They're in little 8-ounce packages, and they're great for your chicken for the butter bath. I do half butter, half schmaltz, and I've seen my scores improve. Is it because of that? I don't know, but it's just extra chicken flavor in there. And it's just another way to not waste as much. I mean, Michael's brought in, he's making 4 different kinds of chicken sausages. He's making chicken schmaltz. He's finding use for every part of that thigh. So that's been great. But no wanted ads, just hey, we have something odd that we're going to show you how to do, and just go along with it. And he did. So then he brought his son on, and him and his son just hammer him out and do a good job.
That's awesome. That's cool, man. It's definitely, like you said, you're doing a service that, because I remember when me and Houston, when we first started off in this hobby, like that was the hardest thing for me to us to figure out, is like the trimming aspect of it, because especially for newbies. So you're essentially putting up, the bumper lane for bowling alley. I mean, it helps you a little, but you're not getting to strike every time.
You remember some of those comps though? We'd be up at like midnight still trimming, like on Friday night, like this.
Never again.
Well, and like my thing is also, like, up here, not every Giant Eagles who carries Springer Mountains up here. So if you want a specific brand thigh, you may have to go to like 4 different grocery stores just to find, enough packs to fit your, to fit that comp or fit 2 comps worth. So I'm always like, time is money. If I'm saving you from running to 4 different stores to get all your meat, that's another way to look at it too, is just your time is saved. Your wife's not, where you been all day? Well, I went to 5 different grocery stores and a bar in between, but I'm not going to talk about that part, kind of thing.
No, but that's cool, dude. So, let's talk about your rub sauces and catering that you do. You got anything in the barrel coming up for any of that? Any big announcements?
Anything you willing to talk about?
Yeah.
The one thing me and Hank aren't ready to talk about just yet, but it's a big, for me, it's a big deal for me, in that there is trust and investment in me as an employee and as a friend from Hank, is what I'll say. So that's going to be really fun to announce. That's going to be fun to announce here shortly. Catering wise, we're just trying to grow it. Burn ends are, I think I sold like 100 pounds of burn ends between Christmas and New Year's. That's cooked weight. So I mean, that's a lot of brisket.
That's a lot.
A lot of grease.
Well, Wagyu. It's all Wagyu too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Mostly Wagyu, and so the grease side of it, God, that's the worst part about burn ends. The grease they make, and
so
but they're good. They're good with our sauce. so we're growing there. We have a
No,
mac
but
and cheese.
100 pounds of it in like a month.
Yeah, yeah.
I
it was-
mean, that's a shitload of grease.
Yeah, I got so off the BFG, I have 2 5-gallon buckets hanging instead of the little metal cans. 'Cause I'm not changing them every time. I can't. I can't. And then I'll just throw the buckets away. Especially in the winter, they just freeze, so it works out
Right.
well.
Right. You've got a
but no,
5-gallon chapstick tube.
Yep. God bless the garbage man.
No.
But no, we have a mac and cheese competition coming up here in Cleveland in March. That I just found out about, and I'm going to do burn-in mac and cheese and just try and get our name out there a little bit.
Yes,
See what
that
happens
sounds
with
amazing.
that.
That sounds amazing. So let me ask you this: what is one of the working? Because I mean, you guys run a normal butcher shop. So what is one of the like weirdest requests you get at the butcher shop, like that most you won't see at other grocery stores or something like that?
People know that we have beef fat, so they always want beef fat, but it's for like soap. A lot of these homemade soap people want the beef fat, to make their own kind of soap out of it.
Makes sense.
But we're also, we're kind of we're kind of known for our higher end cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody kind of knows, we want the ribeyes, the steaks and stuff. But everybody wants tomahawks. We don't really get in tomahawks a lot. Last Christmas time, did you ever see the ribeye pinwheel where you put the bones all around the ribeye, the canoe marrow bones?
Yeah.
I did 2 of them. I did 2 of those. That wasn't even us advertising. It was a lady saying she saw the video
that's
and
cool.
wanted those done. So that was, a nice break from it. But we don't really get oddballs. Oxtails. People want a lot of oxtails. I don't know why.
They're so good.
There's better cuts. They are good, but I think I would do short ribs over oxtails.
Agreed.
Just for the amount of meat you can get off of them.
That's true.
One thing I haven't gotten is a Thor's hammer. Nobody's really called for that.
That was huge on TikTok and YouTube. I feel like for like a couple of months, and then I think it kind of went away.
Right, it had like its social media moment, and then it's kind of.
Well, they look badass. I mean, I will say this: when you put them like in like on top of mashed potatoes or something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Houston, me and you doing that sometime, but it's like I feel like they're like tomahawks though, because you're paying per pound and you're paying the weight cost and you're paying for that bone.
You have a bigger bone on that too than you would on a tomahawk. So
I was going to say
more weight. We had somebody call and ask for schmaltz, and my eyes lit up. I'm like, yes, we do have it. Like it was. You're not going to believe this.
I got to know this. Do you have are the people that are buying your schmaltz, like, are they actual Jewish people, or are they buying it to do like what you're doing with it and like just use it as a rendered fat product?
More of a rendered fat product. I mean, we are, we're not a Jewish butcher shop, but we are in a heavier Jewish area. So we sell a lot of pans of briskets, matzo ball soup and everything. But the schmaltz wise, no, it's more for cooking. People with the cooking fat kind of thing. It's more where I'd say that's going out the door with.
I feel like rendered fat products are becoming more of a thing, because I mean now you see bacon up, the bacon grease.
Well, and you see who is the duck fat company? They had a teaser picture. I think they're coming out with a tallow spray. From the way their picture, like, coming soon kind of thing.
Well, I think it kind of coincides, though, with the fact that people have finally started to wise up that a lot of seed oil is bullshit. Like,
where does it come from? I don't know.
Who cares? Did we used to
corn?
Right. Did we used to degrease or like grease aviation products with it? Like, sure, but who cares? It's fine.
Use it as a binder. You'll be fine.
Right. I mean, I
use WD-40. That's all our chicken always stays moist. I use WD.
Are you
The
the Hank Hill
finest
where he has the
3-in-1
small can of
boy.
WD-40 one?
Yeah, I am Hank Hill, and Houston's my Bobby. So it's when we're cooking, and damn it, Bobby. No, dude.
No, I mean, I think that's a lot of it is that, uh, the truth
I mean,
about a
there's
lot of like how bad seed oils
people are
are
getting more
for,
educated.
yeah.
No, I try. That's the
Well,
hardest thing when I got into cooking was to explain to my wife like fat is not bad. Like animal fat is not a bad thing. Like it's flavor. It's not
yeah,
unhealthy. I mean, don't eat just
Yep.
that, but I mean it's not bad.
just eat
No,
a
but
bar of
that
tallow.
schmaltz. I mean, I'm sorry, like doing that or like the tallow. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
just infinitely better than consuming
Yes.
like God knows how much
Well,
canola. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, it has a higher smoke point. You're adding the flavor,
Yeah.
and it's a benefit all around.
It
And,
is.
like I said, and then like the schmaltz, just that extra pop of chicken, I think, in your butter pan, it just adds something to it.
oh, it
You're
was.
not
I'm
spending
so happy
$6
this
on.
came up because, like, while when
Yeah,
you back at the top of the show when we were on the Mr. Brisket bit of it, I was like
yeah,
thumbing through products because I hadn't been on y'all's website in a bit, and I was like, oh
yeah,
shit, dude, he's got chicken schmaltz.
yep. Yeah, well, so at Royal Oak, I took down a whole cooler full of them because we were sitting on a lot. Because I mean, there's still people to be educated and sold to. So I just brought a cooler and handed out to all the teams. And some of those guys are like, "You have this? Like you do this? Because it's, you're doing 16 thighs. It's not a lot of fat to render, but when you're doing 60
400.
pounds of it, we get a full, yeah, we get a full 6-pan of fat and render that out like every day.
It's
And
crazy.
it's just an added product.
Yeah.
Well, I'm buying
yeah,
some, and y'all should too. Buy some.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we ship coast to coast, not with FedEx. If you followed along on our FedEx fiasco with hats
I
for
did.
Christmas, so we ordered these hats.
They're so awesome.
They're fantastic.
Before Black Friday, we ordered. We have a chicken. Have you heard of Schlitz beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you look up Schlitz beer, I have a schmaltz logo that's based on the Schlitz beer logo. Will be our next one. So
That's
we're just going to
awesome.
push that envelope. We're just going to push the envelope till we get that cease and desist letter.
Hey.
But until we're
You'll
having
be
fun, and it's all positive. So I mean,
Yeah.
It's fine. I know a few lawyers.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
FedEx kept our hats for a month at a depot less than a half hour away from us. So don't ship with FedEx. I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that for a while. But no, we ship.
I'll die on that hill.
We ship. Just because of the
USPS America.
No, God. What can Brown do for you? Is all UPS. Those guys. They didn't miss a beat all of Christmas, and that was a busy Christmas. But we ship coast to coast. We try to keep everybody's like, oh, another education point is shipping costs and understanding if a box has to go on an airplane, it does cost money to go on an airplane. As much as, and the box costs money and the dry ice costs money. So, I have guys,
Right.
they'll be in Houston. Oh, shipping's this much. And I'm like, dude, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. You're in Houston, Texas. Like, yes, it has to go on an airplane, and it is going to cost, I mean, not a lot, but I mean, it's going to cost you like maybe $100 to get down there.
Sure.
And, so understanding that side of the business, is also something I'd like to educate people more on, because they'll go, Snake River Farms only charges $10 to ship. I said, yeah, but you're paying like $15 a pound for the brisket.
Right.
So that's,
it balances out.
That's where they make it up on the back end. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we ship coast to coast. We do, we ship everything. You want me to ship a pan of brisket to your grandma? I'll ship a pan of brisket to your grandma.
That's awesome.
We ship anything and everything out of the shop.
Good deal, man. Well, man, that's I think that's all we got for you tonight, man. I truly appreciate you coming on and helping us celebrate coming full circle on the show. And
happy 1 year. It was fun last year. The phone.
Happy
The
1
phone
year
stayed
and
alive
50
this year.
episodes.
Hey, yeah, thank you for charging
Yeah.
your charging, and I was the one that screwed up this time, so it has truly come full circle. So we're a little better, but we're still struggling. But man,
I'll say.
really, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna plug some Northeast Ohio guys. You gotta get some more Ohio guys on here. You gotta check out. Did you have Sailor Nick on here yet?
I haven't, man. I haven't. We
No.
done. We
You
kind
gotta-
of honestly. We kind of done
Think-
south. We haven't hit much north.
Sailor Nick or Buckeye Flavor of Josh Linhart or Gordon Thompson. He's a double fire chief and competes. He would be a great guy to talk to. So I'll plug them if I got to plug anything right now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely,
So,
man.
it's
Yeah.
been a fun,
Holler at us, man.
No.
I love seeing all your stuff, and I definitely y'all are a great company, and fantastic person to deal with. And customer service, I feel like in this industry is key, and you guys are definitely at the top. You're no FedEx, you're or UPS.
We're a shop of 4 guys, so I mean, we got to do the like I was telling Hank. I said everything I do keeps a roof over my head and and food in my belly. So I got to do the best I can.
That's right, man. Well, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the trail, and best of luck this weekend and down in Lakeland, dude. We gotta get you down to Smoke on the Shore in Nashville sometime. That'd be one.
Yeah,
that's one you gotta check out.
That's cool. Yeah, I need to get down there. I might sneak down for the Invitational this year. Would be probably where I'll be at if I can get down that way.
Please do, man. You need to I'm telling you, you need to get like a booth down there. Just if you don't cook it, then be there for Mr. Brisket and hanging out.
Oh. The
Yeah.
Mr. Brisket Marketplace. That's my other goal, is to get that in more competitions.
Absolutely. Well, man, hey, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on, dude. I'm excited watching you guys blow up, and you personally and all your barbecue endeavors. I mean, for cooking 5 comps, I mean, you're killing it, dude. You're absolutely murdering the scene. And but yeah, man, like I said, I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for coming on, man.
Appreciate it, guys.
See you, buddy. Well, man, that's it,
Here
buddy.
we go. That's
one
it.
year down, 1 year down, 1 to go. What do you think we should give me your rundown? If you had to grade us for this past year, where do you think we landed?
B-.
B. You know what? I was gonna say B+, because I mean, we made it. We stayed consistent. I was proud of us, man. That's like 50 episodes in a year. That's not easy.
It's a push. It is for sure a push.
Yeah, I mean, we got a great team, and we've added some new members that are helping us out, and I think next year's going to be even better than this one, because the more we do it, the more we figure it out, and we keep on growing. And
no, absolutely. And I think adding the new members was fantastic. It definitely broadened our range a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Rusty and Matt and everybody. I mean, they
Rusty
do
and Matt, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for joining our dysfunctional family, and we love you guys, and we appreciate everything y'all do.
I mean, Matt gave us a great perspective on the food truck scene, and I mean, Rusty brought some big names to the show, and also kind of brought in the whole like Mountain West scene, which I had no frame of reference for.
No, it's cool hearing about the other side of the country. You guys, I mean, we all are Americans, but I feel like we're so like the East Coast to West Coast is just so opposite. And it's so cool to hear other, areas of barbecue. Yeah. Barbecue is such a, nationwide and worldwide phenomenon. And it's so cool to hear about all those different stuff. But man, I'm having such a blast on this podcast, and
it's been good.
It's been a blast, man. Barbecue in general has been definitely a shining light in my life, and it's become a bigger part than I ever imagined it would be. But I don't regret it one bit. I enjoy the friendships and the connections we made through our hobby. So and thank you for sticking with me, man. It's been 6 years.
6 years, man.
I think it's been 6 years. 2019.
What did it say on the shirt?
2019. 2019.
Yeah. Well, 2019, yeah, but then if you go back to like the early like us and Burton days,
yeah,
I think it was 2018.
Piggy Smalls and them Spice Boys.
Piggy Smalls and the Spice Boys.
That's right, man. That's right. But no, man, it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to many more years of this. I'm not slowing down, and I suck at golf, so I got to have something going for us, right? One overpriced hobby. So this is mine. This is where I hang my flag, and this is the mountain I die on. So, all right, man. Well, that's our show. That's our year, and we will be back next week with another great guest, another chaos ensued episode. So you definitely don't want to miss it. So without further ado, when it comes to barbecue, make sure you're always right on cue. See you guys.
That's all, folks.